Welcome to another edition of QLZ Green Room, live discussion, interaction with some of the industry's biggest, most talented individuals. I am Mo. It's not just about my questions. No, if you want to ask and interact with our guest, you may do so. Leave a comment right now. If you are checking this out on demand after the fact, you can still react. You can still leave some comments, but just keep in mind that we could go live in the QLZ Green Room at any time. With that said, this guy's got a hell of a resume. Stereo Mud, Stuck Mojo, Saint Asonia, and now as a part of Seether, Corey Lowery. Welcome to the Green Room, my friend.
What's up? What's up, man? Good to be here, man. So glad to be here.
And wow, like I said, that's a hell of a resume right there. I'm like, do you actually have that printed out on a resume? I'm like, yeah, I was in this.
You know what? I don't. I just keep moving forward. You know. You know. Yeah, it's been a long road. Sean asked me one time. He says, "Dude, why didn't you tell me you play guitar earlier?" You know, and
yeah,
I could have knocked out half these bands. But you know, it's been a privilege to go. You know, to meet so many people and be a part of. You know, so many cool projects. But I really found my home here with Seether, and I don't see myself going anywhere now.
Now, that's awesome. That's a great band to be in. I always thought Sean's lyrics, and agree or disagree all you want, but to me, especially early Seether, like Driven Under and some of those songs, to me sounded like a modern day Nirvana.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, huge influence. And what a talent, you know, like, and what a great person to be influenced by lyrically and musically. I think that he's got an ability to be sincere and be himself also. You know, like watched Sean grow. You know, we've known each other for about 15, 16 years now. And, you know, we've talked about music this whole time, and just, I mean, to watch each record evolve in certain ways. And it's such an amazing thing to be part of. This is my first record with him, so I'm so excited about the whole process.
Before we talk about the new album, which I have questions, of course, I do want to ask about jumping from bands to bands. Seether had asked you to be part of a European tour. Did you go back to Saint Asonia and said, "Hey, later, I'm out of here"? I'm like, how does that work of leaving one band and joining another?
Well, listen, I mean, I love those guys. I mean, I don't have any problem with any band I've ever been in. Seether was just a working band, and I'm a workaholic. I love staying busy, and so do they. And so and musically it felt right, you know. And when it felt right, I definitely had to call and let the guys from Saint Asonia know you want to break up with something before truly starting with something, I think. And those guys were understandable. Then Saint Asonia now have Kel on bass, and I think that's great. I think it's perfect for them. And like Kel and Adam are cousins, and are from Canada. It just makes sense. And for me, Sean's 3 hours from me. I mean, I was just up at his house and doing some acoustic stuff as well. So this just seemed to fit for everybody. Landed where they were supposed to land, I think.
And that's good. I'm relieved to hear that. I know back in the day, rock and roll feuds were, you know, pretty plentiful. So I don't really want that animosity now, but I'm just kind of curious. Like, it seems to happen a lot. So I would assume that there's not a lot of hurt feelings, but you never know. That maybe like they're really upset that Corey left the band, or maybe they're really happy you left the band.
Yeah, well, we did a festival, and I had I was in a group called I Empire as well. I had Brad, I had Rich Ward from Stuck Mojo, and you know, I had my brother. All these guitar players, and it was all guys I played with, and man, they were super supportive, and you know, it's like they're happy for me, and you know, and I'm happy that, you know, like I said, we've all landed where we should be. You just got to be true to yourself, and you know, it was never my intent for some of those bands. It was never my intent for it to end, but you know, sometimes they chose that path, and I just, like I said, I'm a workaholic. I like to stay busy, and the work ethic over here and with Seether is just incredible, you know. So
I've heard that about the albums, that continually there is much more music that is written and created that makes it on the album, of course. Speaking of staying busy, this pandemic 2020 hits. How is that treating you? Good, bad? I mean,
we're handling it the best way we can. Like for us, because of touring so long and so many years, we all have families now, and it's been really good to be with our families, and spend that quality time that normally and we don't really get to do. We it's tour, do a record, tour, and in between you find that home. And thank God we all have supportive families, and they love the band as well. And I'm seeing bunch of the comments. Thank all you guys. We can't wait for August 28th either. But we're dealing with this whole thing the best way we can. Thank God for guys like you that put us on, and we're able to reach our fans a little bit, through formats like this. And it's, you guys have been incredible as far as the radio and pushing us and keeping us out there, because there's a true connection between Seether and their fans.
I'll agree with that. Absolutely. And it's you thank us, we thank you, because we love being able to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit on how your lifestyle is and the thought process. And just, it's nice for us to see the other side of things. But with that said, August 28th can't come soon enough, as we had the one comment say, and correct me if I'm saying it incorrectly, Vis Pacem Parabellum?
Vis Pacem Parabellum.
Say, I was way off.
But no, listen. If you said that, I knew what you were talking about. I knew exactly. Say it however you feel like you should say it, and then claim it. Say, no, it's actually my way, and then say it like that. But
I like that.
Vis Pacem Parabellum, Vis, however you want to say it. But the meaning behind it is, if you want peace, prepare for war. And I think, Sean's always picked the coolest titles, man. Poison the Parish. I was like, wow, but like it's those are thought-provoking things, man. It makes things that make you think are sometimes the best. Like why is that? Now you look at that and you look at the lyrics to the album, and it's you can dive deep if you want to, and he definitely leaves that opportunity open for everyone.
Well, I'm glad that it means better. Vis Pacem Parabellum sounds to me like it should be CVS John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. That's what I thought it was, but I'm glad that it's.
But look the movie Maleficent. I couldn't say that to save my life. I was like, motherfuckers. I'm like, what? And so it's I love the idea of what the title is and stands for, and like I said, once you learn how to see Vis Pacem Parabellum.
All right.
And
so, Vice Parabellum, got it.
Yes.
All right. Maybe not. Okay, but I am very much looking forward.
You look cool. You look cool trying, man. If people only can hear this, I want you to know that he looks amazing trying it. That goes a long way with Seether. Okay.
That's great. Dangerous, doing very well here on QLZ. At least I think it's doing very well nationally, probably worldwide as well. Tell us about the process. This is your first one with Seether. Was it different than working with some of the other bands? Not just your position in the band, but just like, how's the thought process? How's the whole thing different from any other band, maybe?
Sean sent the demos out to us like maybe a couple months beforehand, and for us to check out. And I mean, right out of the gate, I knew that this was going to be a really special record, and so we jam it, we learn our parts and how we might want to play it, and but he put together such a guideline for everyone. So you're not learning the song when you come into the studio. You're that's just natural. It's second nature by the time it's your time to track. And Johnny and Dale and everybody that's so amazing as far as knowing the song. And when you know the song, now you can play it with emotion, and you can kind of lose yourself within the song as you're playing, rather than wondering how this thing goes.
Sure.
So I mean, and watching him with the lyrics and going back and forth, and it was an incredible. We lived together through this entire record. That's another thing. We would go in the mornings to the studio, and we would track all day into the night. And at nighttime, we would go back to Sean's house, and we would grill out. We're a band, it was like a family. It was like we'd laugh, we would talk. I mean, so much laughter. And Matt Hyde was a great engineer on this, incredible. And I got to be an assistant engineer with him. I mean, just going over tones and stuff like that, and trying to help Sean get his vision out. I mean, that was the big thing, is just because he had a big idea of what this whole thing should sound like and feel like. And I think that it was just an incredible experience. The speed to get to those places. Now you got your tonality down and stuff like that. We were able to now perform the way we wanted to. I remember closing my eyes and just losing myself in it, and and then open them, and the song was done, and I'm like, is that it? Like, it was an incredible experience to go through, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Now, from Sean sending out the demo pieces to the actual recording, like what kind of time window are we talking here?
Like I'd say a couple months. I would say a couple months. We had plenty of time but we did he probably had 50 songs, you know what I mean? But he narrowed that down to 30, and then I think we tracked 22 songs.
Oh wow.
It was a tremendous amount, 21 songs, and you want to track them, and so there are songs on the record that are I thought were wow, but that's incredible, but then you narrow it down to what you think could be the best for one record. And so I mean, that's what make when you have more material, you get to cherry pick what is the best, and what sounds like Seether, what's where's the best the best future for Seether, and what will the fans like. Fans really, they matter so much to us. I mean, we're such a live band, and seeing their reactions on certain things, this would be something fun for them to sing and be a part of.
Absolutely. We do have a question rather. Would you compare the overall tone of this album to Seether's early work?
In some ways, yes. You want to stay who you are. And Seether's definitely, there's a sound, and there's a vibe and a sound. As long as the vibe's there, you can mess around a little bit tonality wise. I think that this may be one of the heavier sides and the cleaner sides. So I think people are going to be Sean's teeing off screaming at times, and then there's times where it's just that really an acoustic track of him being really intimate and just right in your face with it. So I think people are going to be super excited. Thanks for that question, Daniel. Absolutely.
Now, with that said, with some of the lighter stuff that Sean wrote, do you think some of this was done in relation to the pandemic, knowing that getting on the road and playing these live shows may not happen anytime soon? So was there a thought process of, hey, maybe these songs would be better acoustic for the time being? There's always some side of that in the background. Like, this was kind of all starting up. It wasn't full throttle yet, So I'm sure in songs and Sean's writing, knowing that this is happening in the background, does it play a part? I mean, most likely. I think everything's playing a part. Where you are in your life as a songwriter, and what's going on in this world, and things you want to talk about. I mean, I don't think he holds back as far as being able to express himself with those type of things. Sure, makes sense to me. Absolutely. Now, with you joining the band, most recently, when you realize, okay, I'm performing these songs, I'm going to be part of Seether. What excites you, like performing? Is there certain tracks that you're like, okay, yeah, I love this one, or it challenges you? Anything
Yeah,
different?
I mean, for me, uh, I mean, I have the best time live. I mean, I'm watching the fans. I'm one of the players that I feed off the fans big time, and I mean, always got my group right here that are trying to out sing, like and they're just going for it, and I love them to death, I mean, and we'll break it down and let the crowd sing, and it's like that's the loudest I've ever heard people sing along, and to anything, and I'm like, and they're just they're so connected to the songs, I mean, we get a lot of comments of people saying that it helped them with their life in some capacity. And I mean, Sean started that Rise Above Fest.
Yep.
For suicide awareness. And I mean, it's the real things in life that matter. Who cares what the weather's like outside right now? That's going to change by the second.
Right.
But like, what matters in your life, and you know that you have somebody there to talk to and to get some help if you need it, So try to spend a little bit more of your time lifting people up rather than tearing them down. And I think that's just something that gets overlooked a little bit too much, And you can fall in that depression of, let me stab, let me get after it, and why, what is it going to do right now,
we get that at QLZ. We talk about that a lot. I'm very open about mental health, suicide prevention. I do speeches for that. I myself have suffered from depression for way too long, and so we love the Rise Above. We love the Under the Scars Foundation that Sully Erna put together. I mean, we love that. We're rock fans, and we're all united by the rock, no matter how much we disagree on whatever else is going on in the world. Rock brings us together. And if there is one good thing about 2020 and the pandemic, concerts have gone by the wayside for now, but we're getting a lot of new music, and a lot of musicians and talents like yourself are getting the chance to produce and write more. So this next 6 to 12 months, I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
It's going to be ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like a band that I produced, Crowbot, they got to single out Low Life and Gasoline.
Yeah.
Then new music that's coming out, and like all this new stuff's coming out, and people are pouring their hearts out right now. Rock and roll is a rebellion art form. It is. We're the rebellion art form. We're the ones that, the underground kind of thing. But you get to express some of that angst and express things loud. And I think the live shows are a tremendous part of a release and getting stuff out and having a connection with so many people and everyone singing along and just letting it go. I think that has played a huge part of a lot of people's depression and not having a release. And so for right now, I'm like, exercise, find something, find something to move your body, get that blood going and stuff like that. So, I do CrossFit and jiu-jitsu and it's something that my daughter and I have are doing now together. And it's, the days I don't want to do it and I want to just, sit on the couch and woe is me. She's like, Dad, get up, let's do this. I'm like, the accountability, man, find a partner that is pushing you, and that's, I love that about my band. I love that there's always a challenge. There's always a thing that says, hey, do you want to try this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And it's, yes, let's do it. It's 2020. Absolutely. We're only here for a speck of time on this earth. So let's make this thing count.
I love it. So with that said, we're going to wrap things up here in a moment. But if people want to further ask you questions, they want to reach out to you, share their love of the new Seether when it comes out a month from now, where can they find you on social?
Come find us at Seether.com. All our stuff is there. I'm Corey Lowery 23, Instagram and stuff like that. Listen, we're everybody in the band. We're very social butterflies in some aspects, and so we're trying to answer as many questions as we can. So come to our sites, find us. It's we're not that hard to find. We try to make ourselves as open as possible.
And I can vouch. Seether has been very, very active over the last couple of months on socials. So if you want to stay up to date with everything going on, get ready for the new album.
August 28th. Come on now. Let's do this.
CVS, John Wick's.
Vis Pacem Parabellum.
That's it. That's it. Either way, it's going to rock. Thank you so much, Corey, for your time today. And you're welcome in the green room anytime, my friend.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Keep doing what you do.
We'll try.
Absolute.